I'm starting my life over with just a truck and a chainsaw, reviving my lifelong dream of running a successful cattle farm. It's going to be hard work, but we won't take this second chance for granted. I'm excited to share this journey with you as we go from rags to riches. Welcome to Cattle Ranch. We start the day off by selling all of our slurry, collecting our manure to move it over to the production facility. Then we got a new tank that I was hoping would work for the slurry, but you can see it does fill it up, but it doesn't empty it at the store. So we had to call an audible. Here's the tank. We're gonna unload it to the tank, and then we'll slowly switch it, sell it, all the slurry, back and forth. Then we move on to the milk after getting done with the slurry. Then we sell a bunch of fertilizer, trying to get $1 million. Well, we kind of did a power rush of selling all kinds of goods so we could head over to the store and buy a new piece of equipment. Going into mowers, we're gonna go with the Krone here. We're gonna do GPS. It's gonna cost us $395,000. So we're gonna need a little bit more to pull off all the plans we have today, but this will be a good start. And since I absolutely needed more cash, we're gonna head on over to the other location where we're storing fertilizer. I believe we have a good amount here that we can sell, get a little bit more money in so that we don't go bankrupt today. And I hope I'm right. Let's see. Refill. Perfect. All right, we got a lot of fertilizer here, and I'm doing a voiceover for the rest of this video because the mic wasn't working. So we'll go sell this and see if we have enough money to do what we want to do. Let's find out. Coming in hot. I'm going to try to go slow and see if we can actually stop this time. Very nice. All right, let's see. Over 500,000, maybe 600,000 would be more than enough. Let's head on over to the dealership and buy something else. We're back to see the nice lady. Hello again. Why not? We're going to go with that and this guy as well. And we have the exact money for this trailer, so might as well. The farm tech is ours. Let's jump on in here and get everything hooked up, and hopefully it's all compatible. It should be. The only question I have is, will the trailer actually connect? And it did. All right, so let's get it back. I don't think we need any of the additive this time, but let me know. We're not doing silage, it's just grass. Not sure about the additive. If anybody knows, let me know. Let's head back and get going. But there's one more thing we need, and we're gonna have to go sell some equipment to get what we want. All right, let's put this here, and where did we put the John Deere? With the slurry tank. So we're gonna go to the storage barn and grab a couple pieces of equipment, and we'll take them to the store to get sold, or so close to getting started. New equipment day. It's definitely new equipment day. We're gonna grab both of these mowers. We're gonna head on over to the dealership. I think it'll give us enough. Let's sell that one here, and we'll sell the other one. We'll repair it first since we have cash now. And we're sitting at $100,000. That is plenty. So let's go and grab one of these belts here. This one, conveyor belt's not what I wanted. It's one that you drive. That's not gonna work. Let's let's get rid of that. And then we will buy the one that I know we can hook up to a trailer. It might be excessive, but it's gonna work for us. I definitely think it's do what I want it to do at least. We'll get it back. And we almost made $1 million today. So to keep that up, we're gonna have to make a lot more TMR. We're gonna have to be more efficient at it. So that's what today's all about. I wanna keep the cows' health at 100 so we can keep them fed. We can get as much milk and as much manure as possible to keep making all of this money. And we'll see. This setup I'm not 100% sure is gonna work. We'll try a few things, get this in the right spot. We'll have to unfold it here. We'll probably need to turn it around. That's not gonna work that way. So yeah, let's loop around. We'll get the truck lined up next. That should do it. Yeah, this is a fun experiment. We'll see. It's not gonna go well, I don't think. Now, here's the semi flying in, coming in hot, but this we could put right under it here, and it'll catch all the grass and, yeah, line it up and right there. All right, so let's get the grass going here. We'll set up course play so that we can get this done by itself. We'll have the grass mowed by itself while I man the trailers and figure out all the efficiencies around that. It's gonna be a few different attempts here to find what's gonna work for us. A little bit of insight for foreshadowing, I guess. It doesn't really work out great for us in this episode, but you can see here we're saving the course so that we can then apply it to the forage harvester as well later on. But this will get going nice and super fast cutting here. Really sweet to see this new equipment working. It's going to help us with efficiency as is instead of using the old John Deere setup with the front and back mower. But we'll get this going right away and start picking up grass that we can then try out and seeing if it's quick enough to really use this whole setup with the conveyor belts into the truck. Could have just done an auger wagon, which is what we do later. But yeah, getting this unfolded took a second to get used to a forage harvester. Again, it's been a while since I used one of those. Kind of just jumping ahead and summarizing in this voiceover, trying to figure out exactly what to tell you guys. It's a little awkward for me if you can't tell. So we didn't add the additive. I don't think it matters with this type of pickup system, but let me know if it does. But this process should be pretty sweet. Let's get this full, then we'll dump it into the semi-trailer and see if it's efficient or not. And there we are. We almost got all the way around, about halfway around this entire field, and it was full. So we come in here, and for some reason, I thought I could drive over it. I don't have the mod that you can just drive over this. So we, do some silly things and just force ourselves over it and then struggle to back up to the right spot. Didn't recognize that the auger moved when we ran over it, so it wasn't working right away. Had to deal with some issues there. Finally, after playing around with it, realized, oh yeah, the truck's not aligned anymore. So we got it in a better spot, got it unloading. And then we had to go back in here, unload again, back it up to the right spot. It's pretty picky. It wants to be on an exact spot that it likes. But there it goes. It's kind of slow. And the capacity of the trailer that we're using isn't that different than the truck. So this attempt isn't really working too well. So here we're going to go set this up on course play and let it just run. And that way we can go back and forth and figure out the timing of it. Actually, this one we're doing ourselves. So we're going to get enough to fill up the truck and then set up course play. Just kind of trial and error here to find a real efficient way when we go to the field that's behind us, the large grass field that we made, to see if this process is going to work. And right now, no, this one's not going to work. The one we do later on, maybe it'll work. And here we go with the first truckload. We're going to take it over. It didn't feel super efficient. We'll figure it out, like I keep saying. But it's time to go over here and have it fermented, turned into TMR for us. And we're trying to get back in time before the wagon over here is full and get set up and then hop over. And then we realize I don't think it's turning very well with this trailer setup. So we take over, try to find a good place for it to have a decent run on course play around with the little other things, and my goodness, kind of a chaotic episode. I don't know where it was shooting at that point, but you can see we're coming over here to unload again. And at this point, we're really starting to feel like this is the bottleneck right here. We're stopping. We don't want to stop the process. We're coming over here to unload. We want to find a way to do this a little more efficiently. I think I was trying to be cute with this idea and this setup. It works. It's just not the best. At this point, we're pretty much done. We're looking at auger wagons to see which ones can hold grass. And this one we landed on. It's $100-some thousand, so we had to sell the equipment that we already purchased. We'll sell this wagon and the conveyor belt to fund enough money to buy that trailer. And you can see here we're starting to drive it back to the dealership just to do that. And we're set up, trying out the new process. It's not turning much better, a little bit better than the other wagon. But then I started thinking, here we're using course play to help us get started in the right direction. And then we hide the little icons. We wanted to have that go and then get the truck and bring the truck over and see if we can just pick up grass out of the harvester directly. We know we can, but is it going to work? We could kind of use it as a chaser wagon and just use the backup, the wagon behind the harvester, for the backup while we go back and forth. And then once it's full, we empty it, yada, yada, yada. But here I wanted to make sure I knew how to empty it, and that's just kind of figuring out exactly how to use a wagon that I've never used before. So we come over here, we struggle a little bit. Then we finally realize that we have to have the pipe out, and then we start unloading it on the floor before we realize that we just need to change the output type. Instead of it being from the back, we want it to exit the pipe, and there we go. We can start overflowing into the truck. Very nice. It's a cool setup if we can get it working. It would be nice if that pipe would just send the grass out while we follow next to it, and then we could just go back and forth that way. You can see here we finally got the harvester to send it into the truck, so we are using it as a chaser wagon. But the reason that worked this time really well is because the other trailer was full. So we decided to stop it. We're going to empty that and get a good start. Try to find the process. Again, I like showing the experiments on these episodes. It's a struggle sometimes, but my goodness, it's fun. And it feels frustrating at the time, but I like showing it. Like I said before, probably 3 episodes ago, a lot of YouTubers make it look like they're geniuses and experts at everything. You got to start somewhere, and eventually you can become an expert on the topic. But there, we got it unloaded. We'll go drop off another load. 95% is close enough. We'll come back and see if we can be a little more efficient with the process. Maybe we switch it up long term and I drive the harvester and use follow me to unload into the truck. That might be what we try next time. But you can see here, got it lined up fine. It was full, so it wasn't, the pipe is following it, but we couldn't get it activated with the worker. And I'm rambling as we unload the grass. Gonna have plenty of TMR now. We're pretty low after this episode. I think we're gonna be at around 300,000 liters, which at this point seems to only last us about 2, maybe 2.5 months. Been keeping them full. The more TMR we have, the more manure we can get. I mean, we also need the straw, so we can get milk and manure with all of that efficiency there. But we're gonna come around here and see if we can get, yeah. We need a new truck. This thing drives terrible. Shouldn't be driving that fast in the grass. But we're going to come over here, see if we can get the hose or the pipe to turn to us, and it does there. And so this is the way we're thinking would be really efficient, and that's where the chaser wagon comes into play. We keep going. We got a little too close this time as it turned around. But if we use it as a chaser wagon, then we only have to stop every once in a while to unload the wagon behind the harvester. And here we're trying out the drive because this is really what's going to show why we're trying to do this drive is all the way to this field so far away, back and forth to the TMR mixer, way too far. That's why we want to be efficient, but we'll get this last one turned in. The next time we try this, we will try a little different setup and try to be a little more efficient. Probably won't show as much on camera, but we'll get this dropped off here and move on to prepping the field for the next harvest. We want to get lime laid down as well as fertilizer. And here we go, putting lime down for the first time in a while on this grass field. It's going to take a lot, 1.7 tons. Actually, not too bad. We got it done pretty quick. We didn't have to refill it. We'll go unload this, get the fertilizer all set up. And then, oh, forgot to shut it off there. Get some fertilizer put in here. And we'll probably want to put these away so that they're not, yeah, let's put those away. We can lift these up. That's emptying. Yeah, look at that. Efficiency. Super efficient. So now we're going to go over here, and another frustrating moment is about to happen. We're going to start fertilizing, and then we realize our soil samples are outdated. So here it stops spreading the soil. At first, I couldn't figure out why, so I start playing around with the settings and try, let's just spray it anyways. It says it doesn't need fertilizer, but I don't want it to look like lime all the time. So I got a little frustrated going back and forth, trying to deactivate some of the precision farming stuff, so it would just spray it down, and then we realize it's not even putting nitrogen down, it's just pretending it's doing it. Nitrogen says okay in some spots, but it's not good. So then we go in here and we play around a little bit more and get a little more frustrated, and finally was like, let's look at the map. I don't know why the little map doesn't show black when it does in the big map, but you can see we're just a little confused and going back and forth and looking, and I wish we had the real commentary from me because it was pretty funny. I was pretty frustrated, but after rebuying the soil samples, we were able to figure it out, and you can see here we're still a little confused as it starts just spreading in random places and not even applying it. Oh man, should have cut more of this out. I don't like doing episodes this way, but I figured it was probably best to get one out for you guys. You can see there we finally purchased the soil, and now we can go around the field and actually fertilize it. Wasted a little bit of material, but not a lot, and I got sprayed with fertilizer there. But you can see it is laying it down, turning it orange like this grass field has been the entire playthrough when it's fertilized. Getting a couple passes here done, a couple that we missed to the right there. cleaning it up. It's nice. Nice progress in this episode. Reflecting back, editing it this way is a different way for me to look at it. I usually don't get a chance to talk about stuff post-production like this, but pretty interesting episode. We struggled a little bit, but we have some ideas to be efficient moving forward, tried out a few new things, and if you haven't caught on, I'm learning a lot about this game still as I play through this Cattle Ranch series. I'm Socksway Up. I will catch you on the next episode.